Hey, witches. I just like glitched. Like my actual human person just glitched.
The next episode of The Cat of Yule Cottage, a magical, heartwarming story. Um, I am loving this so far. It's a little like chaotic at times, as this episode will also be. Um, Mainly because there's no chapters, so it's really hard to like move the story along without like a barrier,
That's
basically.
partially why it's so chaotic. That's not because of my Kindle. It's because of that.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay with that. It just makes it a little harder to navigate
Flow.
because sometimes if we, yeah, because sometimes if we do this and we like plan ahead of like who's gonna speak, what's gonna speak, then it just takes the like it's not as candid.
Yeah.
And
Plus, we don't plan ahead enough for that.
no, half the time I'm doing my research like 20 minutes before.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm a full-time worker, not necessarily a full-time voice actor, but I still do that on the side, and a full-time podcaster. So now I just need a break at times, and
Yeah.
with life being chaotic, that's what happens. So,
I sincerely wish I could just be a full-time podcaster and like make all the things good, but
yeah, if I had a full-time podcast opportunity, like sound cues, music uploading, planning,
yeah.
ideas.
Social media.
I was gonna say social media, maybe even TikTok, who knows? All of that would be up. But here we are.
Yeah.
Maybe when the
Here
economy
we
is a
are.
much safer
Right.
place.
But
Um, but yeah.
yeah, so part two.
So we left off around page what was it, 61? Um, and we kind
Okay,
of
I'm gonna say something that's not related to the book because we were just talking about it before we started recording. It's when you look down. Like you sound far away when you look down.
which is so weird because it's still right in front of me.
Yeah. You sounded farther away when you looked down at your stuff. Anyway.
Crazy. Okay. We were just talking about an episode. I was like, oh, do I sound far away? Sometimes when I see the video, it like I sound like I'm very far away and I'm right here in front. And yeah, so great. It might just be the mic. I have a new one. It's
Still
sitting.
learning.
It's sitting back. No, I haven't even put it in yet. It's still sitting there.
Oh, you haven't put it up yet. It's okay.
Well, it's like maybe we'll get your mic up this weekend. And I was like, that would be great, considering
Yeah.
like I told Brandy I'd send this to her so she could have that mic, and I already sent her gift. So like, he's like, yeah, sure. Anyways, this also really sucks with no chapters because then it's hard to figure out what has and hasn't happened yet.
Yes. It's
So like
hard
I
to
could sit
organize
here
our
and say
thoughts.
something that happened like within the last few pages, but like is that yeah. Um okay, so we last left off where um Jess is going to the hardware store with Alex to get all of the goodies that she needs to basically put her cottage that she's living at back in like working order and make it more cozy and homey. Um and just kind of making it feel like home for both her and Perrin. Um, and yeah, that's really kind of what it was, just her prepping and getting things back together. So that's kind of where we left off.
Yeah.
Um,
And then we get start up and she's like cleaning and doing things around the cottage and playing with Perrin with a feather duster, which is just hilarious because like I imagine him as like this immortal being and he's playing with a feather duster. But as he takes like Perrin takes it and runs away with it, um all of a sudden there's a creeper chilling at the edge of the forest. And it's Jack. And like, at first I was like, oh, hey, Jack, like, maybe announce yourself next time, Creeper. But actually, he's just there to be a dickhead. And bring
Well,
her a bill for the electricians fucking up the lawn, I guess.
the like property, his grandpa's property, which was really confusing to me. Because later on we learn about like where he lives and where Jack mainly lives and stays, and it's like, what what yard, what grass, what anything. Um, but she, while she's like playing with Perrin, she actually makes a comment about basically like his demeanor, how like one minute he's like this playful house cat that wants to chase her mouse around as she's like trying to write a story, and then the next he'll spend all night on the roof yowling cat songs to the moon. And then she makes a comment on these nights my dreams are stronger than ever. So I don't even have my notes up. With this, I was interested in like, I think this is like alluding to Perrin's place in the cottage, basically. Like her dreams are revved up when he does this, so like maybe he is some immortal being, and his words and his, not words, meows or yowling or whatever it is something that's preparing her for what's to come, or help her remember to like save the area, like trying to get her to remember the past kind of
Maybe.
ordeal. I don't know, but basically something about him meowing brings upon extreme dreams of the past or something like that. So I
Yeah,
think
it's
this
really
kind
hard
of
to
helps.
describe like what exactly is happening. Because yeah, it's definitely dreams of the past, but like, are they memories? Are they? I don't know. And they're like very like there's no introduction. We don't even know that she's asleep half the time. The dream just starts.
It merges.
Yeah.
Well, because there's like a scene later on where it was like describing her sitting on the ground, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm not sore because I'm sitting on the ground. I'm sore because I'm in a snowstorm, and I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? But it's not like in a bad way. It's just it makes you have to sit on top of everything, and like try to understand what's going on. It's also kind of cool to like kind of bring in that idea of like it all just mixes into one line, um because it shows you how deep she really is in like this dream world or whatever. um but you were muted, so
Sorry. I know. I'm struggling. I can't quit coughing. Um. Yeah. But basically,
sickness.
we learn that Jack is. Um. I mean, it's almost like he's jealous, but he's not saying that he's jealous. He's just like, I thought you were different.
Yeah, and what's really confusing about that is it's like, how do you know she's not different? Like, you don't realize she doesn't know. She literally is from London. She just barely found out the differences between the uh the Treminors and the Rascaros. I'm gonna figure out how to pronounce those two names, and they're going to be so vastly different. We're gonna turn the entire book upside down. But anyways, she just barely got there. She is just learning the history of the location. She is still an outsider. People still don't necessarily trust her because of that. So how the fuck is she going to be different than everybody else, or different than any newcomer, possibly getting whisked away by the Treminors. Because here's the thing. If I'm an outsider and everyone else is being standoffish, but the one person who is like semi-attractive to the person is nice to me and offering like companionship or something like that is an easy tactic to get in with somebody.
Yeah.
Like from a victim standpoint, that is like the easiest way to get into somebody who's isolated, somebody who's yearning for some type of attention. Not even like the bad attention, not like, oh, my mom hates me. It's, I'm lonely, I want a friend. That sort of attention. And if
Yeah.
somebody fits that bill, somebody who is shitty and fucking terrible as Alex is, we will learn out why later. But all of this bullshit is an easy combination for a predator or for somebody to swoop in like that. So, you know what? Honestly, fuck Jack for being like, right off the bat
Yeah.
without asking fucking questions.
Which I feel like part of it is because, like, history has shown them, like, that the Treminar's money and power, like, draw people in, but he doesn't even give her a chance. Like, he doesn't try to tell her what happened. Like, he just assumes that she knows how Alex came at them, and she doesn't know that. Uh,
Well,
but,
and if she's interested in money or anything like that, first of all, why the fuck is she living in this cottage with no electricity?
right.
Like, if she was interested in the money, like gold digger type, and she already went to the mansion or the manor with Alex, there is no way in hell she would probably go back there. She'd be like, oh no, I like this, let's go.
Right, let me stay with you.
So that,
um,
yeah, that's frustrating.
and she, so then Alex comes over, or is she at his place?
She finds out what was said through Jack, and
No, no, no,
she's
I know that, but right now, like right after, no, she doesn't find out yet.
oh no, you're right. Sorry.
No, she's either at Alex's.
They're at the manor. She's taking a
Yeah,
shower at the manor.
right, because her plumbing's still messed up. So she's at the manor with him, and he's like, "Are you still worried about Roscaro? Yada yada yada," because she didn't sleep well, and she makes a comment, or he makes a comment about having to go talk to his dad and meet with investors about this new marina thing, but I'll drop you in town to do battles with the locals. So I'm just like, I don't know. There's something sketchy going on here. I don't like it. I don't like him. It doesn't feel right. It feels like he's trying to get her into trouble or something.
Yeah, it it's I don't. It's very sinister. I don't know. It just to me it feels like there's a lot of conniving uh like what's in it for me sort of idea.
Yeah. And then we find out because she's talking to Michaela. Oh no, she goes to the grocery store, right? I just
Oh,
read this yesterday. Like, you would think
wait,
I would
hold
remember
up.
better.
Okay, so there's okay, this right here really makes me like solidify how pissed off I am at Jack at the moment. So she's staying at Alex's place, right? And she's hearing the hum of electricity, the dishwasher, like all of the like his breathing. Um, but she doesn't hear the owls. She doesn't hear the creaks or the clinks or the settles and Perrin's purr. And she's like, before I left London, it was always like this. I would lie awake with my brain churning in the darkness, thoughts growing ever blacker as the night wore on. It hasn't happened for weeks, but now I toss and turn and fret until false dawn begins to filter through the blinds. And I'm like, you know what? You know what else is in London? What vibes this is giving? Your ex. I think Alex gives the same fucking energy as a shitty ex-boyfriend of hers. In the fact that she's over here bitching and complaining about how she's being treated. What the fuck is that?
This is Brittany's glove that she used to bring me the cough drops.
That's amazing. I love that. But anyways, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, then she goes into town and she gets like some groceries or something, and then she's talking to Liza, which is the realtor's like assistant, I think.
Yeah.
And she tells her that the reason that Jack is so like standoffish and pissy at her is because Alex went and got nasty with Mel, threatening legal action, which Mel is Jack's dad, grandpa, was threatening him with legal action and said that he would basically like destroy his business unless he cooperated. And like she's like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know that. Like, that's obviously not me. And so she's like, well, now I understand. She's like, I didn't know. And she's like, he's always just been kind. He's been kind to me. Or I thought he was just being kind. And she said, kind to you, not to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then so she calls him. She calls Alex and is pissed. And he's like, I did just talk to them. And she's like, talking doesn't mean bullying, doesn't mean threatening their livelihood. And he goes, and who told you this? I wonder, was it the Roscaros? And I'm like, oh, fuck you, bro. And who does it matter who told her that? Like, it doesn't fucking matter. If you did that, then that's shitty. And anyway, they just pissed me off.
I was like, that piece of shit. I don't even know what he did, but I don't care. I don't fucking like him.
Yeah. I wrote, we called it dickhead. And then on the next page I wrote, oh, fuck you.
You want to know why? Because he's blonde.
Yeah. And rich.
Ever since Akatar with Tammy Tampin, anytime I see a blonde male, I immediately go, ugh.
Facts. Well, and then
real quick, according to Google, Alex's last name, you put the stress on the second syllable, so it's Tremenor. So it's like Tremenor.
I don't like it.
I'm thinking it's more like Tremenor.
That's dumb.
Is that stress on the second syllable?
Tremenor, yeah.
Tremenor. All right, continue.
Time
to figure out the other one.
So then we go into like we go into a memory, a dream. And we learn that way back when, at some point, the Roscaros were living in the cottage, and some daughter of the Tremenors was, came there to, like, warn them that the Tremenors were coming to kind of catch them because they were like bootlegging basically or smuggling the alcohol. But like the thing that confused me about this was that like, so did they steal it from the Tremenors?
I think
Because,
so.
yeah, because it said that, like, the casks and crates all had their seal or their name on it.
Yeah.
So, and then we also learned that Perrin is alive in this time, which is like years and years ago. So that's interesting.
How do you spell this? ROS CA.
um, but since she's learned, so after she comes back from her, or wakes up from her dream, she does her morning routine with Perrin. She gives him some tuna, yada, yada, yada. And then she walks down. She takes, I can't remember her name right now, but the old lady's sketchbook.
Oh, that's in mine. Or that's Jessamine?
That's her
What?
name.
That's
Her name
Amina?
is Josephine.
That's Amina?
Whoever. The Aunt Roscaro that just passed away. She takes her sketchbook and takes it to Mel Roscaro and apologizes for everything that happened and talks to him. And then, like, for being such a crotchety old fuck, he, like, gets over it real quick and they have tea and now they're best friends. Um,
Listen, it is the funniest development in any relationship ever. Because we just see him as this, like, raggedy old grumpy man. And then he is like, oh, well, that happens. Thank you so much for being. And I wonder, too, if it's like he's really pissed off because he wanted the sketchbook and he wasn't able to get it. And then, like,
yeah.
he
Well, and it could be
knew.
that, like, he's protecting his family's legacy, right? And so, like, once he realizes that she's not a total fuckhead and not going to come in and throw everything away and just change everything, he's more okay with it.
Yeah, if only Jack would understand. Oh, also, according to Google, it says Ross Caro or Rue, depending on the regional accent, but it's Ross
I feel
Caro.
like that's how we're saying it. Roscaro.
Yeah,
I guess we're saying Roscaro, but if we said it faster, it'd be Roscaro.
yeah, Ross Caro or Ross Caro. I like our Ross Caro.
Yeah.
But fuck Tremenor.
Tremenor. It's really hard to say because I'm so used to saying Tremenor. Like,
I think the problem too is that we're using like an American accent, and not only that, we're using like a Midwestern accent. So it
yeah.
sounds really, really bad. But if we used like maybe that regional dialect, it would sound a lot better. But
Yeah, I'm not
also
great at accents.
it what is it? It means it's a it derives from the Cornish words of for hill spur or moor and a rocky outcrop. But like think of the valley where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, just maybe, the land is theirs.
Well, we're finna have to fight for it because what the fuck? So she's like talking to Mel about everything, and they're basically like, the universe does funny things, and it worked out. Um, and then she like hangs out and helps them scrape barnacles off of a boat. Like now they're just best friends. Like they're just homies and they're hanging out.
Hmm.
But
And then Jack comes by because obviously that's his grandfather's place. Like of course he'd be by, but
right.
and then he's kind of standoffish and a little shitty. And Jess is very upset about it. And Mel is just like, don't worry, he'll be okay. Don't mind him. He's always been a stubborn old weasel. And I'm sitting here like, do not act like you didn't. Just put on the most stubborn jackass shit ever.
Yes.
Like, if anything, you passed it down to him.
Right. It
Like,
must
this
run in
is
the family,
blood
motherfucker.
related right here. Like, I see it.
Yes, very much.
Um, I do like the little blurbs that are italicized because it's I don't know, it's just like a very poetic way of saying that like people are shitty. Because
Mhm.
it says like although humans fight for the land itself can never fight back. It has no fists to raise in anger, feels no bravery or fear. Its best defense is to be forgotten, or better still, to be remembered by only a few. Um, that's important. Like regardless, it doesn't matter that this is just about a valley or whatever. But like if you put that into context of like other things around the world, like it is true. Um, for like instance, we'll find out later that there is going to be like essentially like a land fight between um local authorities and the powerful family. Um, but like that's everyday life. It's protecting, local species, local ecosystems, and there's people who are like, oh no, that would be a great amount of money for us, blah blah blah. And it's like ugh.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yes.
I
Just
enjoy the little
yes.
blurbs that come by. And it's funny because every single person who has a Kindle and has like read this book has
Highlights
also
them.
added it. Because
Yeah.
it's like it's under it's like dotted underneath, and it's like 5 other people have added this to their Kindle notes. Would you like to add
Yeah.
it too? And I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's important. But anyways,
It's
go ahead.
funny. Oh no, you're good. That's just um then she's back home and she's like doing stuff around the cottage and she calls her mom or her mom calls her. Anyway, she's talking to her mom and her mom and siblings are going to come to the cottage for the holidays and she's excited about that.
She also makes a comment about how she talks or she acts as if the parent is like a human.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I can't wait for you to meet him. That's important later.
Yeah. Yeah. Um and then she goes, this is where she goes to the or no. God damn it. So now she's like, oh fuck, I gotta get the plumbing fixed. That's what I meant. And she's like, what do I do? Like, because now Alex is being a dickhead and none of the local plumbers and shit will call her back because the Trementers are putting pressure on them to not work with her because, yeah.
And what's really shitty is that essentially Alex led her to believe that um that it's the Roscaros
Yeah.
and that they're
Yep.
the ones doing it. Because of her being with Alex or, being in his company. And it's really not. It's literally all his father. And he's in on it.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, she's walking into town and she walks through the clearing and there's a fucking sign. And the sign says, private land, property of the Treminer Estates, trespassers will be prosecuted. Bitch pulls this fucking sign out of the ground. She gets all muddy pulling this fucking sign out of the ground and goes straight to the real estate office and is like, fuck is this? And I'm just like, what a fuckhead. Like, so the minute she's like, no, I don't like your tactics. I don't like who you've shown me you are. He's like, okay, let me throw my money around. Like, fuckhead.
It's just really frustrating too because when she throws it at Michaela and Liza, Um, they were gonna tell her to come in so that they could talk to her about it. Um, but apparently there was some type of agreement that, um, I'm telling you, her name's gonna be in here, and I'm gonna
Like
figure it
Thomasina,
out.
I found it.
Yeah, Thomasina. There's something in there that Thomasina had, like, signed that Roger Treminer has, like, she has no legal rights to the grounds because it
Yeah.
was given to her, or like she signed and agreed that like the land does not belong to her basically. And so
Yeah.
he's cashing that in to essentially remove all Roscaros and Jess from the property and getting the land. We don't necessarily know why yet, but that's the plan right now. And so like he is also putting a lot of pressure on the real estate office. He has powerful attorneys that are pushing and basically threatening everybody's livelihood. And the fact that this is such a small location and an area that money is important because of how poor, not poor, but like because of how, like the village and all of that, it's that's how they're getting their way. And Michaela is essentially saying, like, we have a meeting on Monday with the solicitor. Like, we have everything in place. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know what's going to be said, but we're going to need some concrete evidence. And um, it's also kind of shitty that even though Roger Treminer knew that Jess was seeing her or his son, he still had the audacity to put in the paperwork tenant instead of her name.
Yeah,
So
fucker.
he just looks at Liza and Michaela and goes, nothing's certain yet. Enysyule is still leased to me. And they both exchange a glance. And Michaela says, yes, for now. And it's like, no, fuck that. There is
Yeah.
something in there that like she was supposed to be in this cottage. There is something in the fucking water.
Well, and like there's this trunk at the foot of the bed, and it's mentioned multiple times that is locked, and she
Yeah.
hasn't figured out how to get into it. And even as far as I've read, she still hasn't figured out how to get into it. And I'm just like, bitch, like let's make that a priority.
God, I was hoping that she'd like fall asleep and like a dream would come up of someone getting
Like
into
she'd
it.
learn where the key was or
Yeah.
something.
Like something, I don't know. But
Because she's like, Treminar's lying. Thomasina was a Roscaro. She never signed the land over to him. We just have to prove it somehow. And I'm like, but how? Like, you, what?
well, and this is an area that there is not a lot of concrete evidence. Like this location is based on stories. Like
Yeah.
nothing written, nothing concrete. And so she is so pissed off that she almost calls Alex to
Yeah.
essentially rage at him. And she's just pissed and she just wishes that Thomasina like left instructions of some sort and something to tell her what to do and how to do it. And she's essentially been searching the cottage up and down, trying to get it repaired and fixed up and homey and cozy. And she was never able to find a key for it, and Michaela has no record of one either. Um, and she can't shake the feeling that something important is waiting inside of there, but like she doesn't want to like break into it. And I'm like, now's the time. Do it. Do it, god damn it. Because this is, I think it's gonna be in there. And then she ends up remembering the little sketch that Thomasina, is it Thomasina or like the Thomasina?
I was just saying Thomas because it's like if you, that's how you say Thomas.
Yeah,
Like the
Thomasina.
H is silent.
Um, so she goes back to the newspaper that she finds like the devil horns drawn on Roger in the like wherever he is, and reads the title. Treminer submits marina plans. Roger Treminer of Treminer Estates has today announced his intention to spearhead the development of a multi-million-pound marina complex on the banks of the land near the village of Landford. This area is crying out for modernization, Treminer said in a recent interview. A marina complex will not only attract international tourism, but boost the local economy, providing jobs and amenities to residents and visitors alike. Treminer has already faced stiff opposition from regional wildlife groups, funny so, who protest that the presence of a large-scale marina on the river will disrupt its unique and delicate ecosystem. Last year, after negotiations with the district council, Treminer acquired a strip of undeveloped riverbank in a deal that had been called into question by some local residents. While the land itself is only a fraction of what would be required for the marina site, Treminer states that he is confident additional land will be found in due course. Now, mind you, confident is like quotations confident. I wonder if he didn't like kill Thomasina, like murder her. I mean, what if he forged this whole thing? Like, what if he forced her to sign something under duress or had somebody forge it or something? And she just ends up dead, and he's like, "Oh, I got a paper. This is mine. Get the fuck out." And like he was already inquiring about it before the land went up for rent. But basically, she reads this and she's like, "He's lying. There's something about it. There's something."
Yeah, for sure.
So
then she has like another, or she's trying to get into the fucking trunk, right?
dream. Yeah.
And she almost like induces the dream. Like she's like looking at the trunk and she's like, I need to know like how to get into this. And then she has another like dream vision thing. And in this one, there's a Roscaro man who is going to Enysyule to feed Perrin, who they almost kind of like worship a little bit. Like, not worship, but like they continue to come back to take care of the cat, even though it's not their land currently and they don't live there currently.
Mm-hmm.
And when he goes in, he finds a injured Treminer there, and
Yeah,
they kind of like
some man.
Yeah, and they kind of talk back and forth, and he's like, I need you to help me get back to town because right now Enysyule is like run down. And he's like, what do you want? I can pay you, I can do this, I can do that. And he's like, fuck off. All I want you to do is to fix up Enysyule and make sure it is nice and someone lives here and that someone takes care of Perrin, basically.
And it's funny because like he doesn't actually say his name or that it's the last name of Treminer. We just I guess
yeah, I just assume, yeah.
But there's a part because he calls him gray coat. He just doesn't understand why the cat is so important, and he's like, it's a mangy thing. But before that, though, we also find out he says, I don't fucking know how I'm gonna pronounce this, but it's Melchizedek, something like that. Mel, basically. Mel something. Roscaro. So we find out the guy is a Roscaro. And he like knows the guy laying on the ground, and he calls him Godfilled or something like that. Godfile. Yeah. I wonder if Mel is named after this man, the grandfather.
Yeah, I got that vibe.
But so these are the two that we're talking about. And he like feeds Perrin, but Perrin is obviously, like, looking pretty rough shape. He's skinny. He hasn't been eating. And he, like, scratches the guy and causes him to bleed. And Greycoat on the ground is like, what did he say? It scratched you. I call that ungrateful. Beast looks half dead to me. If I had my gun here, I'd shoot it and call it mercy. And I was like, oh, you motherfucker. Don't you dare touch that cat. Don't you dare hurt 2 hairs on that kitten's head, you fucker. And then the other dude was like, don't say that. He spits. Don't ever say that. Understand? He shakes him hard, shaking his hat to the ground. Like, he grabs him and you tell him, Chaos. He, like, takes him and shakes the fuck out of him. And he's basically saying, like, you understand? Well, and then he goes, yes, I understand. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's a good reaction. Fuck you, Greycoat. I would assume that's Treminer.
Yeah, I agree.
We didn't get confirmation, but we just assumed because of the hate between the two. But, like, fuck you. You bitch. Anyways, we do find out that he says that this is my land. I shall do with it as I like. And I wonder if this is after the Treminer daughter coming to the cottage during, like, winter, and, like, the horses with guns and dogs are coming.
Right.
And I did read somewhere that, like, 3 sons and a man were hanged here. I don't remember reading that at all during, like, that whole dream segment, and I don't remember reading anywhere in any other place, but I think this is after that whole incident where, like, the wife and daughter, like, moved away or, like, left or died or whatever. And obviously no one was there to take care of the cat, and the Treminors who took over the land are not taking care of them. So I think we're kind of, like, seeing a historical, like, progression.
Yeah, I would agree.
But
and then she's going on a walk again. And the signs are back.
2 now. 2
signs, and she knocks them down again.
Oh, and she is pissed.
Who would show up but
Alex with a mallet?
Alex. Yeah, so he's the one that put the signs there.
And she, like, hurt herself. Like, she hurt her wrist trying to pull this bitch out.
Yeah.
And so
cut herself.
Like, she's pissed. And so Maggie, the dog, pops up out of nowhere. And he's like, oh my god, you're hurt. She goes, don't you fucking come any closer to me. Like, she is so mad. And so she basically points to the sign and goes, how do you think? And he obviously reddens with embarrassment and says, you shouldn't do that. It'll only make things worse. And she goes, worse than your father bullying me out of my home so he can steal this land for his bloody marina. And as soon as she says that, he immediately, like, tightens up. He knows he's caught. And he says, like, this has nothing to do with you. It's a local matter, and you're just a tenant. So I
like,
don't understand, Jess. How can this dump mean anything to you? You don't belong here. And all of that came out of his fucking pie hole pissed her off. And she's like,
yeah, it did.
oh my god, how dare you say that about this place? And she's so mad she can't speak. And she goes, and where do I belong? London? Somewhere less inconvenient for you? What the hell did you think would happen between us, Alex? How did you think I would react to all this? Shrug and accept an invitation to dinner? And he goes, I thought it would work out. I thought Dad would be doing you a favor, getting you out of that contract. She goes, what? So I'd be forced to leave to go back where I came from? And he goes, no, I thought maybe you could come and stay at mine instead. And she couldn't She's like, I can't look at you anymore. Like,
Like, I just, like, what?
like she's like, nope. So she grabs the signs and she starts stomping away. And Alex starts and says, I can't let you take those. At the same time, she shoves past him and just walks away
Yeah.
with the signs in hand.
And she's going to her new bestie's house.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? Snaps, girl. You fucking hit him. He's trash and deserves nothing. You know what? You take that sign and you fucking play baseball with him.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, but yes. Then she goes, see. Bestie.
Yeah. And he tells her, like, they talk a little bit more about it. He's like, it's not a lot of money around here. And it's hard for anybody to go up against the Trevenners because, like, for the longest time, they were. I dropped my Kindle and it paused it muted my shit. Anyway, they were like basically the like lords of the area for a while, and so everything depended on them. And she's like, can we get people to protest what he's doing about Enysyule? And he's like, no, Enysyule is a private fight between Roscoros and Trevenners, and like nobody's gonna protest for that. And it's like, ugh. But then he's like, are you going to town tonight? And because it's the Christmas light, or like the Christmas lighting.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know, it's already been a long day. And he's like, hey, no, you gotta come. I don't want to go by myself. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll go with you. Where do I meet you? And he's like, by the bridge at 6, and don't forget to wrap up warm. And I literally wrote, before I kept reading, I wrote, or maybe you'll run into Jack instead. Maybe old Nell never planned to come. And then just a couple pages later, I'm correct.
Listen, I love this friendship. It is the cutest
Yes.
thing. Because he's like, oh, I struggle walking.
Yeah, like he manipulates her into
Jack
going with
can't
him.
Go. Oh.
Yes.
And then she turns around and just sees him kind of like hop, skip, and jump up the stairs. And it's like,
Yeah. His legs look fine to me. And then, so yeah, she's waiting there and she's like, okay, like, where's he at? What's going on? And then all of a sudden here comes Jack, and she's like, he told me to meet him here. And Jack's like, he told me the same thing. He told me that you weren't coming. He told me the same thing. So basically Mel like tricked them into meeting a little in old person matchmakery way.
and it's nice too because it's like they force them to be in close proximity to talk. There's like no reason for him to like get out, and so at this point it could go very wrong.
Yeah,
they
I
could
could
both be like, fuck you, bye, but they both swallow their pride and they say, oh, don't be silly, we're walking the same way, let's go.
Yeah, and then when they get there, like, they find a seat and they get like some snacks and some cider. Yeah, chaos keeps headbutting my legs. And then they're talking about Enysyule, and she's like, my imagination has a habit of running away with me lately. I think it's the Enysyule effect. Was Thomasina, did she ever see things? And they like keep talking. Goodness. Okay. And he's like, thank you for bringing the sketchbook. And I'm just like, tell him about the like she lets the conversation keep going and the subject change. And I'm like, no, tell him about the fucking visions you've been having and all of the history, and like maybe he can help you piece it together. But not if you don't communicate.
Only if. The I really do like this sweet little moment because it's an innocent thing. I mean, it's not a first date. It's not like something expected. So it's really nice to see like both of them kind of just talking and getting to know each other in a way, like a little bit more so outside of the drama that's happening. Um, but she does finally like start to open up with him and ask about if his like great aunt ever see things. And Jack like doesn't they don't linger on the subject very long though. Um Mainly because of how old she was. I mean, a lot of people at that age might start seeing things or hearing things or like, you know, dementia and all of that. So like a lot of the people are probably like chalking it up to like some mental health. But it very actually could be like something to do with Cottage.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. And then like she like broaches the subject, but instead of telling him that she's been having these visions, she lets him change the subject. And then they end up going to talk to um Mel and his friends of trying to come up with like a history for the ownership of this land.
Well, and he also says that like she used to talk to Perrin like he wasn't a cat at all, more of a companion she shared the valley with. And I mean, that's kind of what like cat owners are.
Yeah.
Like they're companions. I mean, people fucking do it with their dogs too, so it's not like
For sure.
it's not crazy or whatever, but like that's what Jess does.
It is
So
with
it's
Perrin, yeah.
so it's funny because then it's like, ooh, are they
Yeah.
both the same?
Yeah.
But she doesn't really find out much of information either.
No. And then it's like the next day, and or maybe even a couple days later, I don't know. But she's getting ready to go to this meeting with fucking Tremenor and Michaela and Liza and the lawyers. Um, but as she's getting ready, like she's getting all dressed up because, you know, she wants to look professional, to put on a good first impression, all that. Perrin does a very cat thing and knocks her phone off the edge of the dresser. And it
It's funny
falls.
because he's like some not demon, like old soul, like
Yeah.
magical creature sort of thing to us. And he's like, this looks nice and pushable.
Yeah. Very cat-like. And it goes under the dresser, and she finds under this dresser this frame with these two weird little pieces of it has a black velvet backing and holds two round discs of bronze. Um and she's
This
like,
is what made me want to read more because I'm like, what the fuck is
the
this?
fuck? Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. Um and but then we don't find out in this episode. Like we don't know. And I was like, are they some kind of key? Like they're clearly going to be important to the story, but are they going to be like something that sparks a memory? Are they going to be?
Did we ever figure out what kind of lock the thing has?
No.
And I only asked that because I know there's like some old school locks that have like a very not old school locks, but like a very old school like trunks that is not opened up by a key. Like sometimes it's I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking like very what is it? National Treasure.
No, I know what you're talking about though. Like they have
like a push
like,
or like a medallion or something like that that you can like press in, and like maybe that's what the medals are.
I thought the same thing. I thought the
Although
same thing.
the medals, I wish she would have brought that with her. So we find out that Michaela's husband runs the like history or like the museum of Blandford, and I really wish she brought the medals with her because she's talking about. Sorry, did you have anything else to say about the meeting with them? Michaela, boss bitch, during that meeting. How about we worry about it when the cat passes away? Like, damn. If the cat's been alive for 100 years, like, good luck, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, and so she's trying to find some concrete evidence to prove, and they have a week, and she goes to the local whatever museum that her husband or that Michaela's husband runs, and she has to like go through all of these documents because whatever Jeff found and pulled off the shelf or like pulled from wherever it was and put it on the laptop or the computer, it's not working. That's it. None of that is accurate or not accurate, but none of that is like what she wants or needs. And so they're going back to a time where it was like 1915, like minutes of the board council and all of that. So she's pulling and pulling and pulling through all of these things. So she's like back in 1915, between 1909 to 1915, like after 1915. So with that time frame, and like you can tell apparently that by the minutes that this location was not like safe from World War II. One, World War One, right? Okay. Yeah, 1916, 1917, yeah. Um, so they're not, the area got hit based on the war, which could mean something bad considering this information is could be like back at that time and it could have like been destroyed um for some reason or another. But the what she finds there is that there's been a situation in at Enysyule in 1919, but nothing more on it was discovered or anything like that. It just that's all it said in the notes. Other than that, it's they washed their hands of it. But what if those medals came from that time, like in 1919? Like, what if they were like war medals? I don't know who they belong to or why they're there or what importance they have, but yeah. I know. I was like, now's the time to fucking do it. Like, yeah. Until then. Well, and that's the thing too. The letter that was like written was written from Colonel Treminor. So, like, it had something to do with his name and Enysyule, which means we need to do some more digging there, Jess. Mm-hmm. And maybe the missing items that she needs from wherever the museum is are in the trunk. So basically, she leaves the museum because it's closing time, and she's heading back to Enysyule, and that's where that section ends, and a little italicized section comes in, and that's where we ended. The blurb is just about the latest that live as humans live, it endures as they do not. It ages yet is renewed like a rock pool, filled and worn by the sea, but still it can reflect their presence. It can change. There's a fuck up in the words. It can change forever by their choices, fair or foul. Bum, bum, bum. Sounds like Roger Cheminor and his lack of consideration for the environment. Millionaires. What can I say? But that is part 2 of The Cat of Yule Cottage. Well, that's what happens, okay? He's like, Mom, you're talking about another cat, and it's, oh, hello. He, like, yeah, he, like, stared into my freaking soul. He's like, there's, like, nothing going on in between his eyes. He looks just like Scarlet. That's my favorite. Anyways, okay. We will return with part 3 and finale of The Cat of Yule Cottage next time. So, until then. Not until next time. Sorry, Brittany.